We are working directly with all NHS trusts to enable them to achieve Foundation Trust status, and for the great majority by April 2014. Achieving Foundation Trust status, of course, means that NHS trusts have achieved high and sustainable levels of both clinical quality and financial governance. Has hot dinners, I suspect. Well, last weekend... The weekend before last, I spent 2 days in hospitals, and I didn't require any policeman to be there in order to do it. Let me be clear. On A&E, for example, we have in A&E we have 96.6% of patients being seen within and treated and discharged within 4 hours. But more to the point, the latest data on A&E shows that the time on average spent in A&E came down on the latest figures from 57 minutes to 49 minutes. Across the NHS, on referral to treatment, we've got patients, we inherited over 209,000 patients waiting beyond 18 weeks for their treatment. On the latest data, it went down by nearly 50,000. So we are actually delivering for patients better and improving care. I wish the right honourable gentleman would get on his feet, perhaps he'll do it now, and thank the NHS and congratulate the NHS for the improving care, rather than trying to find the one thing wrong in the NHS. I tell the right honourable gentleman might also have cared to note that the same survey demonstrated a lower level of satisfaction with the NHS in Wales than in England. But let's leave that on one side. That was a survey of 1,000 people. It was a survey of 1,000 people asking them whether they are satisfied with the way the NHS is run. I wasn't satisfied. We were in the midst of reform. We are changing. Mr. Speaker, elsewhere in the House today, the Permanent Secretary to my department and the Chief Executive of the NHS will be giving evidence to the Public Accounts Committee in relation to precisely that issue. And in the context of doing so, we'll be demonstrating how we have continued over the last 2 years an substantial increase year on year in the number of patients with diabetes accessing best practice services. I tell the right honourable gentleman might also have cared to note that the same survey demonstrated a lower level of satisfaction with the NHS in Wales than in England. But management budget for clinical commissioning groups, we set out very clearly that it would be up to £25 per head across England, and that is indeed the sum that will be made available.
Mr. Keith has the Secretary of State seen the letter to the Times this morning from 6 diabetes experts?
Worried about the politics of the issues at all. And in fact, to ensure a brief answer, I can refer her to the government's alcohol strategy, which mentions all of those factors and also draws attention to the substantial progress we expect to see in those figures.
David Burrows, Speaker.
Worried about the politics of the issues at all. And in fact, to ensure a brief answer, I can refer her to the government's alcohol strategy, which mentions all of those factors and also draws attention to the substantial progress we expect to see in those figures.
David Burrows, Speaker.